Hello. Um, Hello everyone. Yay! I actually managed to commit to 2 Fridays in a row. I'm just going to put it up on both Facebook and on Facebook and Insta. So yeah, that's better. That works, I think. So this is the second Tuesday of the month, so I'm going to be doing my divine channeled message this month. Haven't done any live channeling for ages. Those of you who know me and the way that I work will also know that I don't make a big fuss and a big drama when I channel. I won't go into trance, any of that stuff. I'm happy to let my ego sit to one side. Hey Jane, and just to see what I get through. I've really got an idea because of some of the stuff that I was drawn to. You'll notice that I've got like a snowy filter on Instagram if you watch me on Insta. So that might give you a clue as to what energy I know I have about me. So what I'll do is I'll probably spend a couple of minutes just centering myself in a moment, and then see what I get through. Feel free to say hi. If I might say something back at the end, I might not do. I'll probably say hi at the end, but I won't pick it up as I'm going along. Those of you who've seen me channel before, you'll notice that I kind of stare off into the distance. Hello, Heather. And I'm not being rude when I stare off into the distance. It's like when I do my readings, just stare off into the distance. Just so you know, I've got a few workshops coming up, Advanced Crystal Practitioners, which is a really magical day full of loads of stuff. Sacred geometry, talismans, dowsing programming, like not basic dowsing work, like advanced dowsing work, grid work, elixirs, all of that fun stuff. David and I have got coming up. And I also have, if you're not in that space, if you're in a beginner space, hey Dilly, I've also got the essential oils, crystals, and introduction to Reiki afternoon, which is fab because it kind of gives, whether you're somebody who's maybe had Reiki before and you need a bit of a kickstart, and you haven't used it for ages, or you're looking to find out more about how you can change your life in one afternoon with regard to your attitude towards your wellness, then it's a really fab afternoon. I will be announcing Reiki face-to-face workshops and a lot of other stuff. I'm in a position now where I can actually plan for the next few months. I have a venue. Things feel like they're progressing without me having to cancel the whole time. So I will probably now plan out my next 6 months at some point. If I can get one undisturbed day where I'm just sat there planning and doing events and all of that stuff. Because if I can do that to the end of the year, it just means that every so often I'm tidying it up, which would be fab. So, Divine Channel message, I'll do that now for you. If you're on catch up, please say hi. It's lovely to hear that people are watching it afterwards. Even if it's in months and months and months' time, whenever you get this message, that is the time this message is meant for you. So don't think, oh, this message is old and it's not going to be relevant. It will be. It'll be relevant for you at that time. That's the way the universe works, right? It's on our side, it has our back, and it puts us in touch with stuff as and when we need it. So even if it's in a few months' time when you watch this, watch it and let me know if it resonates with you at that point. Okie dokie. I'm just going to connect in. I can already see who I'm connecting into. Oh, interesting. Okay. I have with me, feels like a banshee, but it's not an individual who I'm familiar with. She comes very much in this real icy vibration. Long white, almost dreaded hair, but I can't tell if it looks like icicles. So I don't know if it's dreads or just the way that her hair's appearing to me, to her connection in with the snow. Like everything on her face is like her skin is blue and her eyebrows and eyelashes are just pure white. Okay. Come with me, she says, come with me. This is the way. When we walk through the pathways, we often can't see where we're going. So we guess. We guess what's beneath, we guess what's ahead. And where I'm stood is it's just really thick snow. I can see the top of the old tree popping through like a really bare tree popping through the snow. And I'm breathing in, almost like that peppermint where it's so cold. And I can see my animal guide as well. I can see it's just thick blizzard and the sky is white with the snow, and it's just like I can walk. It's not difficult to walk. I just don't know where I'm going. Everything is white. Everything in the sky is white. Everything ahead is white. But this is the way. This is the way nonetheless. I currently have working with me a European lynx, who is a snow lynx, who interestingly, he gave me connections to Russia, which I know is a previous life. I don't think this is Russia now, but it might be. No. Feels Scandinavian. Feels Scandinavian. But he stood to one side. She's leading me. This is the way. The future is never dark. The future is a blank slate. Makes no difference whether that blank slate is white or black. It is still blank nonetheless. And there is nothing there. There is nothing there. There is only what you create. The past has already been written. You told your stories and you went your own way. And now you are here looking into the void and wondering why you don't know how to put your next foot forward. But you always have done and you always will be. There is nothing here. You don't create anything until you do it, until it happens. Your future is not written. Never forget that. The future is a blank slate on which to write your truths, on which to write your future, on which to project your heart. Your feelings, your emotions, your betrayals never anchor you. Your betrayals never anchor you. You have only freedom. The pathway forward is fine. The pathway forward is easy and free. You just can't see it yet. When did you start worrying so much about being able to see? You've always just acted. You've always just done. She's reminding me of being a child, and she's reminding me of my own kids. I can see all of that all at once. She's given me that feeling of just knowing that your needs will be met. Just knowing. And she's placing her hand really strongly on my heart. And when I first connected into her, we put our hands on each other's heart. And she is cementing into me. And I hope that you guys can kind of focus on your hearts just for a moment and see if you can pick up on this too. She's cementing into me this idea. Oh God, I'm going to cry. Your needs will just be met. They will just be met. Why do you doubt? Why do you doubt that you will never have a roof over your head or food in your belly? These are a given. These are a given. When you love the planet as you do, these are always a given. Expect your needs to be met, and the rest of the detail will follow. And she recognizes it's hard. She recognizes it's hard when we've been through tough times. She's not talking about feeling abundant. She's talking about stepping back into that childlike feeling where you know that your needs will be met. And she's fully aware that not everyone's had that experience. She's fully aware that there are people whose childhoods weren't, where your basic needs of love, of a roof over your head and food wasn't met. But she's saying that this is a time for healing. This is a time for healing those cracks. You live in a world where so much anchors around what's going on outside you. You forget that you are the center. And you feel out of control because you focus on who's outside of you. And she's shown me so many. She's shown me, like God, not just the current crisis in Ukraine, but I'm just getting flashes of current crises which have happened for the last few years and all over the world. All of those feelings of feeling out of control, of our own government, of other people's, no matter where you are, your government or other people within your own life. You control what you let in and who you allow to help you. So take the help where it is due. No one is allowed to take anything without your permission. Remember, you are only responsible for yourself. A really strong feeling of, I feel that coldness now, that boundaries, and almost cooling my emotions so that I don't feel like I want to give my power away to other people. She's talking about personal sovereignty. Personal sovereignty. You are a sovereign. You are a king. You rule your own land. Even if that's just in your head, act, behave, be as though you own your own land. She's putting her hand on her gut and saying, you may not feel it, but be it. Do that. Act it. It will cement in here. Hold your head up. God, she's reminding my nan. Hold your head up. Walk tall. Stand straight. Even if you don't feel it, do it. Nothing can impact on your reality. She's saying, draw in the snow. Draw in the snow what you want. The snow is changeable. A new drift will fall. And you can rewrite again and again and again. Change your mind as often as you want. She's doing that. Who told you you could make a decision and that was forever? Who told you a truth would never become a lie? Everything changes. And so the sands shift and the snow falls, and it gives you a time to rewrite everything. In your heart, the constant is love. Whenever you feel lost, center yourself back in on where the love is, where you feel it, where you gain it, where you see it, where you can hold on to it, and where you can give it. When all is lost, focus on love, for there is nothing else, and it will always bring you back to yourself. Never forget that. The heart is warm and the cold is strong. The snow falls silently. Only the wind blows the gales. Let that snow fall silently around you. Let it cool the heat which needs cooling. Your heart burns in your chest, always. What she's given me is this great sense where if you're somebody with empathic ability, or you're somebody on the empath vibration where you're giving too much of yourself and you sometimes get yourself in that position where you can't draw yourself back, it almost feels like calling on her. She's going to cool those outside emotions and refocus you on inner love, refocus you on receiving love. What you give, you will always receive back. Remember that. It doesn't work twofold or threefold or tenfold. It's all in the power of your mind. Whatever you decide to put out, you will receive back. So if you want more, ask for more. But continue to give, because the flow never stops. I can feel like her showing me what a cage around her heart stops that energy flowing out. Once the energy stops, it will never flow as easy again. Keep the pattern moving, keep the pattern falling. Allow it to move and circulate and to take you forward. The path is always one of love. Don't think too much. Focus on love. Okay, it's really useful. Focus on the heart. Your emotions may burn bright, but they are always true for you. They will never lead you astray. Follow what brings you joy. Follow that path to love. Always remembering that love returns. What she's showing me is actually what feels like a really wonderful technique, which if I'm doing the healing next week, I think I'll use or practice it this week by myself. But she's showing me this connection out of the heart, and it goes out, but then it swirls back in and comes back in, almost like wind. It's like wind with rose petals and snow in. Like it swirls out and it comes back in. It swirls out and it comes back in. So this is how you keep the momentum going, but you always expect it to return. If what she's showing me is if you're and banshees absolutely come in on the emotional empath vibration, because they do this deep healing work around grief and loss, right? We know that. That's why we associate them with death, because they heal us through grief and loss. What she's showing me is that our expectation, and how often are you taught this in some way as an empath, like don't give out your love, don't restrict yourself, because you don't want to, whether it's somebody teaching you that it's weakness, or whether it's somebody teaching you the wrong way to build healthy boundaries, because there's a big difference between boundaries which are firm and healthy boundaries. And she's saying that as an empath, don't ever believe that what you give out isn't going to come back, because that's bullshit and we know it. All you need to do is to have somebody smile at you. Like I just had a really lovely chat with this lad in the co-op. Like I had a morning, I don't want to say it was shitty, because it wasn't, because it just didn't go to plan. And I was just like, oh, F this. I'm going into the co-op and I'm picking up a coffee and a bag of chocolate Brazils, because I love them. And I'm going to eat those. And I ate them, and I came back and I found a new family of trees, and I sat under them this morning, and I just sat there, and it was so nice. It was so nice. That was love. He gave me love this morning. Like I needed a distraction from being not completely peed off, because, I'm not in that space, but just being a bit miffed as to, oh God, nothing's gone as I expected it to. And I was like, the intention was I'm going to make the most of this morning anyway. And he had this really lovely little chat with me, even asking like why I needed like a large letter stamp. And, we had, like, it was a really nice conversation. That was him loving me. The lad who works at the co-op gave me love today. And the more that we can spot that and see that in our lives, the tree that I sat under gave me love today. And I could feel where kids have been playing there and where families had picnicked there. I could feel all of that in the energy around these trees, which I just sat in. Like I live on a hill, which used to be a forest. It used to be a wood. And so they've had to keep, thank God, a certain amount of trees around here. And we have these odd patches on the area I live where it's just a group of trees and grass, and I could just feel all of that. I could just feel all of that energy. They're really old trees, like they're older than the houses. They're from the original woodland that was here. It was really, really nice, really nice. So the love is always there. We've just got to spot it. So if I'd been closed off with him this morning and held back my love, I wouldn't have had that little interaction and felt better, and had a little chit chat, because it makes me feel better. Just sometimes need a chit chat to get your mind off of where you've been. I really also like what the Banshee's given me in terms of every time I'm overthinking. I've definitely been drawing my energy down, which is a really top tip. If you're an overthinker, draw your energy down your body, because you've got too much energy up the top. Ground it off. And I've been grounding off. And she's saying, actually, just bring it down to the heart. So I'm going to experiment with that this week, bringing my head energy down to my heart energy when it's doing my head in. Oh, my lynx is right in my ear. Like hot. My ear's really hot. And experiment with this like meditative healing with sending this heart energy out and feeling it come back in. So whether you've been taught to have unhealthy boundaries and you're kind of being taught to be closed off, it's about seeking. It's about, okay, I've let that love out, but it's not come back from that person. It will come back from somewhere else, and that's somebody who I don't want to invest any more time or energy in that much at the moment. Thank you. But I know that love that I've given is going to come back from elsewhere, and looking for those sources, looking for those people that are going to give you the love back, because then you know that that's a continuous cup, a continuous circle that you're going to be able to work with, which is cool, really, really cool. So I'll experiment with that this week. My Lynx is still breathing in my ear, so I think he wants to actually, if I can get a message from him. Banshee still stood there in the snow, like the snow is somewhere over there, but she's just stood there. Okay, so I need to go back to see her later. Okay. Oh, she's just saying there's one more thing. You need to know that you will never be alone. There is always going to be a time when you feel disconnected, when you feel that your heart is breaking, and there is nothing around you to hold you up. We will be with you through the darkest nights until the dawn. And when that dawn rises, you will see the truth. And those moments aren't sent to test you. They are sent to breathe life into you. It is a death and a rebirth. Those moments when you break, you are rebuilt as somebody else, as somebody new. Never forget that. You live many lives at once. And you are here living this life, rebuilding yourself every time you fall. Don't forget it's darkest before the dawn. And the truth will always be told. The truth will always be seen. And those that venge will never see the truth. Those that wait and hold and bide their time, then the truth will be seen. So wait and hold and bide your time. Bide your tongue. Wait for the future to be told. It's useful for me personally. But I've long lived by this thing, which is I don't necessarily always need to be public when people act like complete dicks to me. That doesn't need to be a public discussion, but what it can, the truth always comes out. That's what I was always told as a kid, and I think that's true. The truth always comes out at some point. You don't need to have a big, huge, massive argument. You need to do your own healing, do whatever healing you need to do around that relationship, around mindsets, around whatever's disabling with you with that person, so you can enable yourself around other people who are giving, and it will come out in the end. The truth will come out. It might be really difficult while you're going through that, but the truth, I can guarantee the truth will always be seen. Jane has just said, well, we're doing that. The cat moved and has cuddled up across her heart. Oh my God, I love that. Lynx is still there, but he sat back purring. I think it was just the Banshee who wanted to talk to me. He is a very nice snow lynx, very nice European snow lynx, who I didn't even know that species existed until I had him in a meditation about 2 weeks ago. And I was like, really? I think I've made you up. I think I've crossed a lynx with like a snow leopard. Oh no, like you're real. And he's adorable and huge. And yeah, like I'm a cat energy person, in terms of the animals that I spiritually work with. Occasionally getting wolf, occasionally getting things like crow and other animals, dragons, all of that stuff comes in. But cat is my constant companion. And they told me recently it's because they don't necessarily need guiding. They're very much in tune with their own instincts. They're there to walk beside you. They're not there to, for other, and that works with my vibration. As a healer, as a teacher, I'm there to enable you, to show you the way, but I'm not there to tie you to my apron strings or to closet you or to stop your progression. That's not how I work. Jane's just said her too. Yeah, absolutely. That feline vibration, and we all work in different ways. We all work. It's very interesting which animals spiritually you're drawn to, as to how you're going to work. And that for me, you'll have a whole plethora of animals that work with you at different times, but you will have one kind of constant companion energy. This particular animal's been through many guises. This feline vibration. And is currently at this wonderful snow lynx right up in my ear still. Like it's really, really hot. Okay, I am good. That's me, I think, done. I'm done. Hey, Sam. Hey. Really lovely to catch up with you all. If you want to book in any readings or healings, I'm quite busy, I think, for the next couple of weeks, but feel free to have a look at my online diary and see when you want to book in. Like I said, I've got a couple of workshops going on, advanced as well as introductory stuff, or like reboot stuff. Like you're in a place where you go, I haven't done my Reiki for a couple of years, like lockdown has completely thrown me off course. I've also, if you're local, if you're Hampshire based and you can get down to the sort of Eastleigh Chandlers Ford area, I have now set on the 4th Tuesday of the month. I have my healing circle, which is starting from the 26th of this month down at Valley Park Community Centre, which I'm really, really excited about. Contribution suggested £3 to £5. Either somebody who is a healer, or if you want to come along and you're interested in finding out more about healing, then you can come along for 1 or 2 until you kind of get your qualifications and stuff. Jane, I'm really glad. And Tilly have just said that really resonated. And Jane said so many messages from me personally. Yeah, I love how when you sit down to channel, like the universe goes, oh, you lot, they're about, and this is the message you need to give, because they're either going to watch it live, they're going to watch it on catch up. So much of it resonated for me as well. I love how seriously that the universe works in our favor all the bloody time, right? All those little interconnected like dots and matrix, just like giving like the perfect messages. So I love that. I'm really glad, guys. Thank you for that affirmation. So if you are a healer and you want to come along and you haven't got like £3 to £5, like come along anyway. Like I would rather people turned up and they put a copper in the plate or put nothing in the plate than didn't turn up. It's about community. So the 4th Tuesday of the month, which is why it's in the community centre, because it's a community thing and they're really excited about having people in from the community, which I love as well, just perfect. It'd be lovely if you can join me either this month or going forward if you're relatively local. And if you're not, why not spend 2 hours driving down to see me, eh? Having said that, next Friday I will do healing. So if you want to join in with the healing, either live or on catch up, I'll be doing it next Friday. And so even if you can't join me in person, you're going to get a little bit of this loveliness. Right, I'm going to go. So I'm going to now hash up finishing Instagram. Oh, no, I didn't. And finishing Facebook. Bye-bye, guys.